we're breaking down all 14 characters so you can see which one is the best fit for your playstyle. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Freyna excels in poison-based attacks. Toxic Trauma. Throws poison that inflicts trauma on enemies, spreading the effect to nearby targets. Defense Mechanism. Significantly increases defense, with a chance to inflict trauma upon attack. Decomposing Poison. Creates a toxic swamp, causing enemies to leave toxic footprints that spread poison. Venom Baptism. Changes the firearm to Venom Baptism, inflicting trauma on hit. Her passive skill, Contagion Links, increases toxic skill power based on the number of nearby poisoned enemies.
I'll dissolve you all. This is going to be painful.
And Jayber combines combat skills with medical support. Assault Turret. Summons an assault turret that attacks enemies. Enhanced versions launch attacks into nearby areas. Medical Turret. Summons a turret to heal allies and distract enemies. Enhanced versions restore mana. Multi-purpose Gun. Changes his gun to a multi-purpose version, enhancing turrets when hit. Reactive Recall. Recalls all turrets, dealing powerful damage to nearby enemies. Entering overhaul state summons turrets in enhanced states. Jayber's passive skill, Turret Sync, increases attack when both assault and medical turrets are summoned. Viessa is all about freezing her enemies in place. Frost Shards. Fires an exploding ice beam that inflicts damage and ice shackle to the area it hits. Frost Road. Increases her running speed and shield, creating ice sheets on the ground. Enemies stepping on these ice sheets are inflicted with Ice Shackle. Cold Snap. Releases an arc of cold air, dealing damage and ice shackle to enemies in front. Blizzard. Creates a snowstorm that explodes over time, inflicting damage and ice shackle on enemies within. Her passive skill generates floating ice spheres around her body, which automatically fly towards enemies inflicted with ice shackle, dealing additional damage. Lepic specializes in causing chaos and destruction. Grenade. Throws a grenade forward, causing an explosion on impact. Overclock. Increases all skill attacks and adds a burn effect to grenades and overkill for a set duration. Traction Grenade. Throws a grenade that pulls in enemies within range. Overkill. Fires a powerful shell that stays at the landing point, dealing constant damage over time. Lepic's passive skill gives him a chance to survive fatal damage during battle, providing an edge in tight situations. Enzo excels in support and sustainability. Explosive Drone. Launches a drone that explodes on impact. Enhanced Combat Suit. Summons shield recovery comms, which not only immediately recover Enzo's shield, but also provide ongoing shield recovery through the enhanced combat suit effect. Start Supply. Deploys a bullet supplying device at a designated location, which replenishes ammo for allies. Perfect Support. Summons a small supply ship for himself and allies. This ship periodically provides supply bullets, grants perfect support, and attacks enemies in front. When the skill ends, it fires a missile that causes a big explosion. Enzo's passive skill, Shoot Support, grants fire support to allies within a certain area, increasing their max ammo capacity. This effect scales with the number of squad members. Next, we have Esimo, a pure DPS descendant known for his explosive abilities. His skills are all about dealing massive damage. Time Bomb. Launches a sticky bomb that attaches to enemies or terrain. Blast. Detonates attached bombs instantly, with damage scaling based on the number of bombs. Guided Landmine. Places a landmine that homes in on enemies within range, dealing significant damage. Explosion. Charges forward and collides with enemies, dealing knockback and damage and removing buffs from foes. After the charge, Esimo enters Madness state. We have Ajax, the formidable tank. His passive skill, Event Horizon, accumulates void energy with each skill used. Once maxed out, this energy enhances his skills and grants additional effects. Ajax's primary skills include Orbit Barrier. Creates a shield in front of Ajax with its durability scaling with his HP and defense. Void Walk. Leaps into the air and lands with a powerful strike, stunning nearby enemies. Expulsion. knocks back nearby enemies with a forceful strike. Hypercube generates a dome-shaped shield, again scaling with Ajax's HP and defense. Bunny, the electric sprinter. Bunny is a fan favorite known for her electrifying speed and attacks. Thrill Bomb summons an electric orb that attacks nearby enemies, causing electrocution. Speed of Light greatly increases sprint speed and generates more electricity. Lightning Emission increases damage dealt to nearby enemies while moving, inflicting electrocution. Maximum Power shoots a stream of electricity forward, with damage scaling based on the duration of the skill. Bunny's passive skill, Rabbit Foot, charges electricity when moving and deals damage to nearby enemies when landing after a double jump. Kyle is a tank who takes to the skies to attack. Repulsion dashes towards an enemy, dealing damage and recovering magnetic force. Magnetic Block creates a barrier that protects against enemy attacks and recovers magnetic force, depending on the type of projectile blocked. Magnetic Spurt reduces magnetic force instead of HP or shields when damaged. After a period, magnetic force detonates, dealing damage around him. Superconductivity Thrusters allows Kyle to fly and deals area damage upon landing, consuming all accumulated magnetic force. Kyle's passive skill, Experienced Technician, allows him to acquire magnetic force through skills and recover shields and magnetic force over time when depleted. Sharen is known for her stealth and deadly attacks. Cut-Off Beam attacks with an electric blade, dealing damage and inflicting electrocution. Active Camo allows Sharen to hide from enemies. Attacking or using skills ends the camouflage, putting her in ambush mode and increasing the damage of her next attack. Impact Round launches explosives from her arm, stunning enemies. Flash Short Sword targets enemies within range, throwing multiple knives that explode, causing damage and electrocution. Her passive skill, Assassinator, increases damage when attacking an enemy not targeting Sharen. Killing enemies in ambush mode resets the cooldown for active camouflage. Blair deals continuous fire damage and loves to cook up a storm. Blaze Up spews flames to damage nearby enemies and create stoves that inflict constant burn damage. Extinguish retrieves stoves from the battlefield, restoring mana and temporarily increasing defense. Burn Taste fires flames forward, inflicting burn damage to enemies at the arrival point. Deadly Cuisine throws a large fireball that splits into smaller ones, causing explosions and burn effects and creating stoves on the ground. Blair's passive skill, Pitmaster, increases critical hit damage against burning enemies, with critical chance scaling based on the number of stoves on the battlefield. Valby uses her skills to control the battlefield with water. Clean Up liquefies, allowing her to move through enemies, increasing movement speed and defense, and dealing continuous damage. Plop creates a large puddle, then pops up at a selected location, dealing continuous damage to enemies in the puddle. Bubble Bullet fires a bubble bullet that creates a small puddle on impact, dealing continuous damage. Laundry Bomb changes her weapon to a laundry bomb launcher, which pulls in enemies and deals continuous damage. Her passive skill, Water Intake, reduces mana consumption when using skills while standing on water. Gley is a beast in dealing damage. Frenzy consumes HP to enter Berserk mode, increasing attack and penetration of long-distance weapons. Life Siphon deals damage to nearby enemies and restores HP. In Berserk mode, damage increases. In normal mode, damage received decreases for a period. Increased Sensory provides infinite ammo for a time during Frenzy and increases movement speed and HP recovery when not in Frenzy mode. Massacre changes the current firearm to Massacre, adding additional skill damage during Frenzy and inflicting stun on hit. Her passive skill creates life spears upon killing enemies, recovering HP and storing power of life. Yujin excels in healing and supporting his team. Restructure Serum fires a serum that decreases enemy defense and inflicts allergy. Attacking allergic enemies heals nearby allies. Solidarity Healing summons a recovery drone that attaches to allies, healing them and increasing their attack. Stimulate Spray Grant stimulation to allies, reducing incoming damage and providing recovery when it ends. Hyper-reactive healing ground. Heals self and allies, granting purification and immunity to debuffs. Additional recovery is based on the number of allies and enemies within range. Yujin's passive skill, Stop Overreacting, reduces the time needed to rescue allies, increasing their max HP for a period upon rescue. That's a wrap on all 14 Descendants. Which one do you think suits your playstyle the best? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to smash that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.